To know me is to know my love of many things nerdy and, well, sci-fi. When planning our trip, one of the things I really wanted to do was to see the giant Gundam statues in Japan. When I found out there was a full-scale moving Gundam we could visit, well, I mean, that immediately jumped to the top of our must-do list. Did it live up to the hype? Well, to find out, join us as we take a trip to the second largest city in Japan, Yokohama, for some Gundam goodness and some bonus adventures along the way. The Gundam Factory in Yokohama is home to the self-described Moving Gundam Startup Project. It's a full-scale Gundam robot attached to scaffolding, it's called the dock, and has incredible mobility for something of that size. The factory consists of 5 main parts: the dock, where the full-scale Gundam resides; the Academy, which is an interactive museum for the project; the gift shop, where you can purchase your own exclusive Gunpla kits to bring home and build; and finally, upstairs above the factory, there is a dining room and some conference rooms. Along the left wall when you enter is something they call Messages to the Future. I found it funny that the first message you see is an apology from the creator that they couldn't make this full-size Gundam actually walk. Apparently, real-life physics make this exceptionally difficult. Further along the wall, you're invited to post a message on a sticker with what you would like to see next for the Gundam dock. Though lots of people use it as a chance to just say hello or leave a little doodle. Here you can see my contribution for the wall. We grabbed a drink from the small food cart outside and set up to watch the show. They do several different shows of different lengths throughout the day. This one that we saw was their longest, and I believe it was called Awakening. It was meant to show like the first tests and the mobile suit coming online. It was, in a word, unbelievable. After the show, we visited the Academy. This was a very fun space that's filled with models and activities and information about Gundams. Check out these Guinness World Records for both the largest humanoid robot and the largest mobile Gundam. When you first entered the factory, they handed you a kit to build this small Gundam model. In the Academy, they actually have a robot that builds this model on its own. It's pretty amazing to watch. There was also an interactive exhibit where you could put armor on this Gundam model. It was so much fun. Entry to the factory cost about 1,650 yen, or about 12 euros. However, for an extra 3,300 yen, or 23 euros, you can get a timed entry to watch the show from the docks tower. You spend half the time on the 5th level and the rest of the time on the 4th level. And while it was really cool to see the Gundam up close, we felt that it probably wasn't worth the extra money for the limited time you got up close with it.
We didn't have any plans after the Gundam Factory, so we turned to Google to see what else Yokohama had to offer. We discovered that we were quite near Chinatown. The Yokohama Chinatown is the largest of Japan's 3 Chinatowns. We passed under one of the 4 gates leading into the area, and then later under a few more of the 5 internal gates. We stopped for lunch at a restaurant upstairs here, where we enjoyed some delicious dumplings, spring rolls, and beef and peppers. The views from the upper windows over the streets made for a very enjoyable time. The streets are lined with all sorts of restaurants and shops. There are so many places to get street food, including steamed buns and the popular strawberry tanghulu, which are candied strawberries on a skewer. Our final stop in Chinatown was the Taoist temple Kuan Miao. This temple houses several different figures of gods, goddesses, and guardians, including the primary figure, Holy Emperor Lord Guan Yu. This is actually the fourth rebuild of the shrine after it was destroyed by an earthquake in 1923, World War II bombing in 1945, and a fire in 1986. It is one of the most beautiful, ornate shrines we experienced on our trip. The level of details throughout this was incredible. The golden ceiling was breathtaking. After exploring Chinatown, we decided to take the subway over to Minato Marai, which is the prime business district of Yokohama. It's described as a seaside urban area in central Yokohama, whose name means Harbor of the Future. I think that's pretty accurate. We arrived in the Queen's Square area, and after walking through a giant mall called Landmark Plaza, we found the waterfront. As Americans living abroad, we always find it interesting to see how American culture is depicted in other places. This restaurant called American House seems to imply a bit of cultural excess. Along the waterfront, there's quite a large amusement park called Cosmo World. There are a few parts to the park. Here, next to the plaza, is the Brano Street Zone, where there are mostly kiddie rides. Across the water, on the man-made island, you find the roller coaster and a huge Ferris wheel. The Cosmo Clock 21 on the Ferris wheel is the world's largest digital clock. The attractions are all pay per experience. Moving a bit further down the waterfront, we found the Nippon Maru. This is a ship built in 1930 as a training ship for cadets. These days, it's open to the public for visits and connected to Yokohama Port Museum. While we didn't enjoy any of the Cosmo World attractions, we were excited to take a trip on the air cabins. You can enjoy either a one-way or round-trip journey, though we were told because of the wind, we could only do a one-way trip. The price for a one-way ride is 1,100 yen, or about 8 euros. We really enjoyed the trip and the amazing views it provided.
Wave hi to our fans.
What?
Wave hi to our fans.
Welcome to our air cabin.
For the last stop of the day, we checked out the Cup Noodles Museum and its gift shop. While we didn't have time to check out the museum itself, we couldn't help but take a stroll through the gift shop. The museum shows and celebrates the history of instant ramen noodles. In the gift shop, we found some of the fun and interesting merchandise, much of it based around the chicken ramen mascot, Hiyoko-chan. Tori really loved this lenticular card showing the inside and outside of a cup noodles package. We didn't know it at the time, but Tori was soon to be eating quite a bit of instant ramen in the hotel. But more on that next time. That does it for our day in Yokohama. If you visit Japan, we highly recommend at least a day in this amazing city. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. See you next time!
Pew, 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 pew.